Three, two, one. Oh, I'm live. Okay, there we go. What's up, happy people? This is a late night broadcast, like 9:54. I'm coming at you guys right now. Just want to wish you guys a great day. Thank you guys so much for the support that I've been receiving. Let me try this feature now in the landscape frame with the overlays. Okay, I see that. Okay, I actually kind of like that. Now, it's me and my compadre, Poppy in the background. He's kind of acting antisocial. Um, but for this one, you guys know how I like to do it. I like to start it off with a word of prayer. So let's go ahead and get into it. I ain't even have to make that. Oh, look, I got the wrong graphic. Boy, if I was back in the news station, it'd be problems. I did not see that. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So, excuse me, this was kind of like on the fly. But dear Lord Heavenly Father, I come to you right now. I ask that you watch over the words that come and that I say out of the tip of my tongue. Let the words that I use be nourishing and pleasing and according to your will. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. So I know it's Saturday. I don't even know what the scores are as of yet. I do know what Lamar Jackson did. Lamar Jackson, he came and he showed out um, that second half. And like I said, it's like a love hate because the Baltimore Ravens to me, they're like the original Browns. So like I can root for them, and then at the same time, if they go against my Browns, and I'm kind of hurt. What's up? I got a viewer right now. They're on Straight Up. I appreciate it. I'm learning more and more about how to use this. So thank you so much so for being part of this. I'm trying to see right now when I'm doing this. Can I go ahead and share it to I want to share it to a Facebook group because I'm not bothered at all with what's going on and what I'm going to share with you. But there's been some people as of right now in this group who've been coming for me. And, I'm like, look, it's cool. You can come for me all you will. But, I'm for the open discussion because I want to have a discussion. I don't want to be one of those people where I make a post about something and then I'm not willing to have a conversation about it. So I already said my word of prayer. So I'm gonna go right into it because the other day I've been finding out like this algorithm. All right, so it's not what you put in your public profile or your pages, is what you put in these groups, in these private groups, that really get the engagement. Like if I got this engagement on my public profile, I'll be like, yo, that's real big. So I'm in this group, and I'm not going to disclose the name of this group, but I made this post. I said, why do people get upset when we mention Jesus' name? I love calling on my Savior's name. It's the sweetest name I know. Straight up. Now, if you know me, I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and we adopted Rance Allen. Rance Allen is a famous gospel singer, and he did this song with Kirk Franklin years ago, and it was something about the name Jesus. And now, if anybody knows me, my walk with the Lord has really taken on a new height, and I'm like super proud of it, right? But I'm gonna be honest with you. This group came for me, and I wasn't paying it no attention because a lot of times I get on these things, I give my little testimony, I want to put some good vibrations out in the air, man. But then I had people coming at me, and there's this one particular guy, and of course, they got them avatars and those little profiles. He said, not all of us are Christians or even remotely interested in hearing about Christianity or any other belief system endlessly. Now, to see the thing is, when I'm in these groups, and when I'm even on my personal Facebook page, I have no reason to leave anything if it's going to spew negativity. It doesn't serve me no good. So why would I do it? It doesn't make any sense. And then I had this other gentleman come on the post and put, as an atheist, I get tired of the ramming of religion down my throat constantly. Do it at church, do it at home. Leave the rest of us out of it. How often do you want to hear about my lack of belief being rammed down your throat or some other person's G word rammed down your throat. It's about mutual respect. One thing the highly religious just don't seem to get. And like for me, hey, I'm grateful to be where I'm at in life because when I seen this, I was like, wow, like I didn't think I did something to warrant that. But then again, I just got done watching the Bible miniseries from 2013, and one of the most fascinating things I could tell you about that miniseries was this: that after Jesus had been persecuted, the movie or the miniseries, the television event, portrayed Jesus as oh, they declined, administrator declined your post. Okay, well that's cool. Well, at least I tried to it because I believe um if I'm going to post something and it's going to get such a reaction, I really want to share it with others and give them the opportunity to comment. And that's why I made sure the comment was available because for me, let's have a discussion. Put your stuff and put your money where the mouth is and come at me because I'm a human being. I'm available, and I would like to have a discussion because I do not try to intentionally ram beliefs. But the one thing I know, I was telling my wife earlier that my walk with God reminds me of trying to attain ketosis. Now, being on the keto diet, you're supposed to remove what is it, babe? I'm supposed to remove like sugars and things of that from my diet, right? And then it's supposed to help my metabolism, and it's supposed to help me burn my metabolism, right? Hello? You gonna just give me uh-huhs? They cannot see your face. Like, okay, okay. She being
You're burning ketones, and that's what puts your body in ketosis.
okay,
And
so
it's burning the fat, and it's well, you're you're not giving your body that much sugar so that it can burn the fat that's stored in your body.
perfect, perfect. So you heard what my love said. She said basically I'm burning the ketones, and by burning the ketones, it's going to do something to help transform my body. Like she's smart
No,
like
no, no.
that.
You want more ketones in your. You want to increase ketones in your body.
Oh, okay. I want to increase the ketones in my body. And when I told my wife this, basically we had the conversation, and I said like I see it like with my walk with Jesus and the Lord. Like since I really turned the corner and really started to get into my studies and be about this life, like really actively studying the Word and listening and digesting the Word, like I'm a newbie at it and I'm nowhere near the scholar level. Like my second mother and my wife, they were on the phone with each other, and my OG, my biological, he was on the other line, and they all got like so much more knowledge than I do. And I'm just like mesmerized. So it's like being introduced to basketball when you've never played before and you find out about Michael Jordan. You're like, wow, this is huge. So I'm all excited just sharing my thing and just loving it, right? And I notice every time I'm in or I post something inside this group, um, people get offended. And I'm like, why are you getting so offended? So people came in my page. So the name Straight Up was basically developed because like I said, they said, we got loved ones who have super abilities, and my wife is a person who makes up new words, and that's what we do. So Straight Up was my word because she had the word, and I'm not going to tell you her word, but it's cute and the family knows it. But for me, I wanted to make my own spin on it because I think we transfer each other's energy. If I do something, she feels she's entitled to do it. If she does something, I feel entitled to do it. Blah, blah, blah. It just goes like that. But every time I post in this group, it got so bad that a group member reached out to me and classified and called them for what it was. And I sit there and said, look, my job as a Christian is not to spew hate. So I'm not ever going to do that. And I'm aware that it's 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock Central Time, and I'm not a DJ on TikTok. So I'm just giving it to you how I need to, because at this point in time, I got a mission. And my mission is I was supposed to have a special guest today. We had a conversation, but once again, it fell through the cracks. They did not show up. I didn't get anything. So my wife had actually called me because she's back from vacation. Yes, she's back, but she's not back with me at home. Or I probably wouldn't be up right now having this broadcast with you. But she's not back, and we discussed everything, and yet and still, nothing happened. So she happened to call me when I was on the broadcast, because I'm not aware if everyone knows that that basically what ended up happening. Once again, I go down these rabbit holes, and I'm gonna start with the story. Um, Basically, what ended up happening was I got approached from social media saying, "Hey, you are a creative, rising creative character, or whatever you want to refer to them as." And then TikTok, I can't filter out the spam versus the actual people who want to do collaborations. But I got a policy, right? I got several burner accounts, and I don't really use them. So anytime I get a friend request, I normally add people, and I don't think nothing about it. But what I really noticed was that my account was like steadily increasing as far as like the DMs. So I'm like, where are all these DMs coming from? And then you go there and you see like people trying to, hey, go to my thing. And then it's like a link to offline. I'm like, no, I ain't going to that. Then they even got like people saying I'm part of the Illuminati. I'm like, the Illuminati? I'm like, okay, I don't need no part of that. But if I see someone like wave a hand or something, I'm like, hey, you hit me up first, so it's free game. Hey, go ahead, click on the link and follow me on here. I'm a real person, so I'm not bothered by none of it, right? So yesterday, I took a nap and woke up from my nap, and what ended up happening was, when I was on my vacation, our honeymoon, when me and my wife was on our honeymoon. And by the way, she's now my special guest. I'm grateful she's stateside. She ain't leaving me hanging. But I'm gonna call her the expert, right? Because you know how you used to have the TV shows where you like ask the expert. I guarantee you, she's not going to commentate on anything on this broadcast, even though on TikTok she was lit. Like TikTok, she was lit. But babe, I want you to take a look at this so you can see this screen. So you got to see the TikTok Live Studio Creator screen. Take a look at this one. So you sit there and see I got the different screens. Like I was at WMBB. It tells me how many viewers, which I got a big goose egg, and how much time I've been on it. And then I got like the captions, and then it shows you that it's broadcasting through three different channels. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then like I can, go in and out. So I'm doing that's what I was doing. I was doing the graphic like back at WMBB. So it's kind of lit. This is like a lot of fun. So
It's giving you a little bit of. Oh wait, let's turn the camera around. You're getting a little bit of playtime.
well, yeah, pretty much. And then like you said, they say on the flip side, the potential. So I know I increased that check from last month. Baby, we ain't getting no 49-cent check this month. Right now we at a whole $1.97. So we moving on up. But then, like I said, the thing that really shocked me was that on TikTok, I was like $13 in, and I'm like, okay, I would really like to go ahead and do this on YouTube as well. But how do I kind of do it? It's like, well, you got to do the grunt work. You got to build the audience. You got to make the reels. You make the reels, and then something pop off, and then you good. So with that being said, guess who came to my home city this week? Twice. The Hungry Black Man. You ever see him on Facebook?
No.
Well, he's real popular. Remember after the chair incident in Montgomery, he was gonna do a drive, but the weather was like real bad, and I was like real excited. He was trying to do something, for the culture, for the people, for the businesses in Montgomery, and all the other good stuff. So he's from Detroit, and what's happened is that the Lions went to the playoffs. And so Mr. Chime, Keith Lee went first. Keith Lee went and did some food reviews in Detroit because he's from Detroit. Then Mr. Chime, who's from like North Carolina, he went there and did some videos. And then the Hungry Black Man was like, I'm from this area, so boom, boom, boom. So yesterday he came down and he was in Toledo and he went based upon recommendations, and that's home. So I know the food culture and I know the joints that everyone recommended. And sure enough, he went to Ruby's on Secord Road. I mean, not Secord, on Reynolds Road, and I guess he wasn't impressed. And then he also went to J Mays, which because I worked at Chrysler for so long. J Mays is like, they used to be like the number one thing. Even a couple years ago when I went back home, when Grant was transitioning, I got me some J Mays. It was like on DoorDash. I was super excited. Like to me, that was like the equivalent of like whenever we go visit, like I always like go to Geno's and give you a Geno's and go to Rudy's. You know how I do. Like I just go to like my little hot spots and remember like
Your staples.
yeah, all the staples and get like the Toledo wings with the Toledo sauce, and I always get like super excited about it. So like he went there based off recommendations, but I was like Toledo's kind of like hit or miss. Like it depends on who you are. Like if you go to a joint and you a regular Joe, and I'm not knocking nobody, like it just depends. If you are like a radio boy, like one of the DJs or one of the influencers in the city, or you like one of the like a couple of the known influencers in the city, like you're not going to get a bad meal. But if you like a regular Joe with a camera and they don't really know who you are, like hey, like you're not going to get it because these are staples in the community. And as a community, like Chrysler is going to take care of certain businesses, certain restaurants. Like you're going to get that's who you're going to cater to is Chrysler over anybody else, because you got two shifts, you got a lot of hungry people, and Chrysler going to give you that consistent money because they work 6 days and sometimes 7. So you're going to get that money. So everybody's going to cater to it. So he went there. Um, he didn't walk away with like a good experience. And so he came back today based upon the feedback. And there's a new joint out there. And the new joint is called, let me sit there and see, because I was just going to his page while we were talking. Let me see, The Hungry Black Man. So I'm going to go there again. So he went to a spot called Dewey Wings on Secord Road, which, probably is going to pop. But we never had Dewey Wings, so I can't really say nothing. But they're like, he got behind the scene, went in the kitchen, and my dude got the Buckeyes. He got my Buckeyes in the background. That's kind of dope. But my man's got like 20,000 views on it. And he said, after being accosted digitally by some locals on our criticism, we're being told the town is a food and cottage cook town. Better food from food trucks and out of people's homes. That is a problem. That's like hit and miss. Like I said, if you go to like Evolution and people know you, you're gonna get some good wings. But if you like a place, if you and that's what he's getting, and it's crazy because he's from Detroit, but he lives in Miami. So he made this post yesterday. Some of Toledo folks starting off grumpy. It's cool. I'm from Miami, Florida. We don't give a F. I haven't had enough time here to have an opinion outside of the spots we visited, but I intend on eating everywhere black owned and finding the gems of sharing. Like I feel like this is definitely for the culture because it's going to make people elevate because of his notoriety. I think he's going to do better because people are so accustomed to going like City Hall and the Staples and just like basically just getting a drink and getting just some wings. But when I seen that he went to J Mays, I was like, okay, some people are really recommending some decent spots. But it's gonna take some time. But talking about the Hungry Black Man of Toledo is giving Boston 2022, but hilarious nonetheless. Oh my gosh! So Lily, this is hilarious. Lily,
I'm listening, babe.
this is the girl's uncle. So tired of you haters. Hungry Black Man of Toledo is going live at your mama, grandma, and nana's house in 5 minutes. So our children's uncle was the one, and the hungry black man shared it. Which this is hilarious. This is hilarious. So I really have put something. I was like, yo, like I put a thing like, yo, I'll fly up and show you around because like it's the equivalent like when we go to the city and we from Toledo, we go and show respect. Like you don't play in Detroit. Like you show Detroit respect because Detroit will lay it down. It's not somewhere you just go and play games at and just go and critique. Like if you ain't from there, it's like if you're not an insider and you are outsider, you come and critique it. You better have blessings. Like Keith Lee, he get the pass. He from the city and he always got a positive review. And I'm like, man, he got numbers. My dude got numbers. So he put this about 5 hours ago. Do we need a food competition in Toledo this February to discover the city's best? Since you are all saying it isn't in the restaurants, I'll contribute 5,000 in prizes. Find us an indoor venue with the ability to cook inside, and we'll proceed. Well, I already see Evolution being like one of the main places. Like if he was, because they just did the thing for Lou the mayor. I definitely see that as a place they could do it. If not, they could take it to, man, Toledo got so many halls and they're always open. So I see this as a good thing. But real talk, if he would have went like Sylvania Avenue, I don't know if it's Dexter's, but he would have got some good, Jamaican chicken. And then yeah, there is a lot of food trucks and whatnot there in the city. So he said, but man, he went in, he said Toledo was shameless and that needs to change. What it's like, how do you go in someone's home and critique them for not being, like Miami? Like me and you, obviously, and that's a stretch because we've been to Miami several times, but I can't really recall because even like there was that one that was with Trick Daddy and DJ Khaled they was promoting, and that was even before we got together. I have yet to had like a good experience. I mean, other than like being on South Beach and eating oxygen. So I don't know. I thought that was really entertaining, but I was happy because it was just putting spotlight on Toledo. So with that being said, I really am not sorry. I'm not apologetic because I never come off to offend anyone whatsoever. So as long as my posts do not get declined by the administrators, I'm going to continue to, speak boldly and loud about my love for God. I don't put it out there to offend because the funny thing was when I was on these social media, when I was on this group page, I seen about like 10 I love Jesus posts. So I said these were really like trolls and clout chasers that want to say derogatory things. And then this guy was on one of them Facebook groups for independent adjusters. And guess what he did, Ben?
What's that?
He made, I got to share this one with you. I think I shared this one with you already. But he came at me based upon my picture. Well, he didn't know. I tried to mimic an influencer's photo on TikTok, but he had the green background, but he had like the double photo and used the other one in the foreground as a shadow. And what he ended up doing was he had a black and white photo on the other side of it. So I'm like, this is dope. I went all black, double black. I was doing something like, hey, well, let me get my podcast vibes. Because you remember the other photos, I had like the suit on and I was smiling, posing for the LinkedIn. But, that was for a period of time for like 3 months. So he made the association that, because he looks like that, blah, blah, blah. So he said, if he looks like me, then he's probably not capable of doing a good job. And because he's using said term, he's unprofessional. And I was like, you got all of that from looking at the picture and the post. And the post was like, would you, work for, Big Red and do 510s? It was very generic. It was just an opinion piece to get a couple people's thoughts. And yet this individual said something. But, like you said, we ain't got to fight our own battles. God got my back. And I thank you because there was about like 5-6 people who clapped back. So that's what I had to say about these groups, man. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because I don't never move in the spirit of negativity. You're never gonna sit there and see me come at you with hate because even if I feel a certain way, I have this right here, and I have a relationship with the God, and I'm working towards being a better version of myself every day. And I don't understand the whole concept of negativity and then putting it in the atmosphere. Like you know me, like if I even had to leave a food review, like that time we was at Harrisburg, and like the dude had made the two hot dogs, but he ain't tell me that he ain't have the Twinkies for the fried Twinkie and the what was the other one he had that day? It was not the fudge round, but he had like the fried fried Twinkie and the fried Swiss roll or something. I forgot what it was. And the dude came in there and took care of me, but it was nothing like that time. Remember when I went to Harrisburg Chicken and like I went inside the joint and they was like, "Don't go inside there because you go inside there and then you're gonna have unsavory people." And I actually recorded the unsavory person like literally knock on the window and I was like all like, like what you doing? Like and it was like true to life. So I guess it just come with the territory. The more that you expose yourself to the world, the more people are going to be hypercritical or say mean, nasty, and derogatory words. But I mean, if I'm going to do this, I want to do this. And I mean, honestly, the why would I not do it? Like I feel like people. Have you ever heard of Jason Whitlock, babe? Have I ever discussed Jason Whitlock with you?
No.
So Jason Whitlock used to be like on ESPN and Fox Sports, and he used to be a major broadcaster. But then he went like the Democrats. You would say they're on the right, and Republicans are on the left side, right? As far as being conservatives, I can't. I'm trying to figure out. I know Republicans are the donkey, and Democrats are the elephants, right? Well, they saying he basically. I ain't gonna even put you on the spot. I got the pause. Basically, they saying he's conservative, and they were kind of referring to him as like a Candace Owens and blah 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 blah. And so I kind of felt like this because I was like proclaiming the name of Jesus, but they're looking at me based upon a post because it's a happy, positive post, and I'm saying straight up, and it's like, how do you get offended by someone who has a term they can use straight up that to me, like I said and said, anyone can apply interpretation, but it's a variation of straight up. But I just spell it with a K to make it rather unique. Just like my photography name for all those years was J Kemp, and I put an I in it. And there used to be people like, "Yo, so is your name J I Kemp?" And then I was like, I don't know, but like at one point in time, I was J Kemp's Amateur Images. And then when I went to go open up the business account, the guy was like, "So your name's Jakai." I was like, "Oh, Jakai sounds good." Like thinking about it now, like, man, if I would have really held on to the Jakai like 15 years ago, everybody know me as Jakai right now. JKAI, like Jakai, like that was so ahead of times, like with the anime and all the other stuff. And man, Maddie be so proud of her dad. Like, Dad, that's the coolest name ever. But I feel like people are trying to slaughter me because I'm bold in my post and post alone where I say I love Jesus. Like, and I don't see the problem with it because at least I have a niche now. I have a purpose, a reason. Because instead of me being in the pulpit, because man, I got a long time reading this Bible and processing. Just like my 486 days on Duolingo, and I can barely remember certain words. There is no way I'm going to be able to get on the pulpit unless God puts me in the pulpit to testify. And I kind of, like you said, how many times you've looked at me, Jonathan, do not record in service, or Jonathan, you're not going to be able to record like you do at that other church inside this service. And I'm like, yeah, babe, you're kind of right. Like I'm there to study, get the word. And I'm saying this is the happy medium. I take the word, I feel inspired, I want to inspire others. So I share with them what I found in church because I'm like, oh my God, church is fun now. Church ain't like what it used to be like as a child, like where I just had to go to church because that's what I was required to do. Like I could just go to church and enjoy church. I think they said something's on the chat. What's popping on the chat? Oh, what's up, Tanel? Thank you so much for being there. Man, I love the support, man. 3 out of 3 days is big of you. Thank you so much. So I said that to say this. I said this group is making me they're testing my faith, but I'm not going to respond. So every time they say something negative, shrewd, they call me a name, they give me their opinion, I still am not bothered by it, and I come back and say something positive. But yet and still, like, I thought this was a great idea. Like, hey, I just opened up the door. Like, you feel so strongly about what I say and what I've been saying. Why don't you do yourself a favor and get on the broadcast with me and really share your 2 cents? Because I'm right here. My face is right here. I'm the person behind it. And one dude was like, why don't you quote the source? I said, okay, bet. I will quote the source. So I put in my response to his post, I put I gotta give it to you. It's on the phone. And that phone is being used with a continuity camera. So I can't give it. But I put the source, the Bible on it. Because like I said, did it hurt me any to go ahead and just share with this man the truth? No, it doesn't hurt me none. And if you want to come at me and say these rude and offensive things to try to get a rise, it's not going to work. I'm going to come back and shower you with love because this is a platform, and this platform is meant for consumption and engagement. And if people want to, basically share something, and someone wants to publicly say something about it, then let it be. Just say what it is. But then they deny me the opportunity of sharing it with the group because I want all of them to actually see it. And that's why I always tag my name in any group that I'm in. I usually put straight up because straight up, you can literally go to my Facebook page and then you can see all my public content. You could comment it, you could chime on it. But instead of them seeing the good, they want to see the negative. Like, they don't understand I was on TikTok and someone said, pray for me and put it out there openly. I said a prayer for someone today. That's like what I'm doing this for. Like, you know me, babe. In the time we've been together, have you ever just seen me like one of us like walk out here and be like, I want to touch hands with you and pray for you? It wasn't until very recently where I even gave my thoughts on a brother and said, look, man, I understand where you come from, but you ain't got to be like that. But I can resonate because I came from that same valley before, but I'm not there no more. And by the way, man, listen, we in overtime, and I just want to let you guys know, if you want to see some more of my content, check me out. I'm on TikTok. You can follow me. It's straight up free. And we can have a ball. And like I said, everything I do, I'm part of a lot of prayer groups. And these prayer groups, they put out these positive memes where they put out inspirational posts. And not all of them, listen, fought me for being in the age where you could save a picture, you could scan the text in the picture, you could take that text, post it in a post, and then what you can do is highlight it, have Grammarly put a prompt and correct it and clean it up so it doesn't look like you stole something entirely from someone, but you can kind of curate it and make it like an original post. But like I said, now I'm faulted for sharing. I'm trying to share and save someone, and you want me to quote the source, and you don't know the source because then that means, if I got something in my eye, what was it? If you got something in your eye, be cautious on someone scan the QR code. Boy, it tells you, thank you so much for scanning the QR code. I want to do that, show it on the actual live. But if you got dirt in your face, just put it like, if you got dirt on your face, you got smut on you. Who are you to call out someone else? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to do something. Ask me my motive. Just like I think the Hungry Black Man, I really think he had good intentions. But like I can tell you just from everything I did, wow, and my wife just disconnected from me. We was having such a, but I'm gonna have to call her back in a second because now I'm in overtime because honestly, listen, this is how I really feel about the situation. In my former years, I went to do a slew of photography in various cities: California, New York City, Dallas, Texas, Florida, you name it. My home city's Toledo. Um, Different strokes for different folks. What you do in one city doesn't necessarily work in another city. And I get you're like, yo, I'm this and that, and I'm this kind of influencer, and I bring good. Like I said, to say, I watch Keith Lee. I feel inspired every time he gives a thorough analysis. He gives his reason why. Mr. Chime, he's hilarious. The Hungry Black Man, like I'm a fan. Like I was waiting for you to come on Montgomery, like but I know it was like a couple of rain delays or whatever, whatnot. But like for real, like if we want to support black businesses, right? It's like, not every city is going to be popping like your city. And Toledo's a place where there's a lot of love. Like I went from my backstory, I went from taking free photos for people and giving them an 8x10 to, getting thousands of dollars for events. And, I was showing a lot of grace. There was times I tried to put people on. There's times people failed me. And this time I had to go back to customers and apologize. And there's probably some people who don't have a good taste in their mouth about me. It's a juggling act because, you have to, one, you're paid to do things, and you got to remember I was a wedding photographer, and I started off doing just pictures, like because before then I had this grass cutting business with a homeboy, but I was really like we went to go do a yard, and it was like at the time like the biggest yard, and it was like $300, and basically he seen the money, he had the manpower, and basically I got cut out the deal. And I was like, I never want to be in a situation where someone can take money away from me that I'm looking forward to because I got daughters out here and I want to take care of my babies. So, with that being said, for my period of time, Toledo did right by me. I worked at Chrysler. A lot of these restaurants, they do right by their people. You just come to the city, and it's not about your clout and it's not about who you are as an individual, but you come to our city. Listen, not every city is the same. Like we said, like I refer to Toledo as Little Detroit. I refer to Detroit as a city. I always pay homage. Like if I'm on the east side, the west side, I'm on my business. I'm on my P's and Q's. I'm not there to offend. I'm there to have a good time, not for a long time. And I'm getting back on 75 and I'm going back home. Or I'm going to go to the casino or wherever. Like Detroit is an extension of Toledo. Like I don't think there's a Toledoan who does not go to Detroit. Like that's why like my heart is like excited. I'm a Browns. Like I'm a Browns fan through and through. I rock with the Bengals, but honestly, like Detroit getting to the playoffs and winning because I was like devastated like a couple weeks ago because like I said, I've been so devoted to the Bible. Like you hear me, like devoted, and that's my Grinch. That I haven't even been keeping tabs of the sports world because I stopped gambling. I was just like, God's telling me it's time to stop. Like all of these addictions, I'm good. I got a new focus. I got a new agenda. I'm a married man, and I'm trying to, do right by myself and my family, and yada yada yada. I ain't got time. But Detroit had played the Dallas Cowboys, and they lost, and I was like, crap. We played Dallas again, and I'm like, keywords, we. I'm like, we played Dallas again. Like I am such a supporter and fan of what's going on. I was devastated for Detroit too. Like dad going. Then it's like, oh no, it's close to the season, but it's not the end of the season. So we get there and like, yo, we going against Matthew Stafford. Like I said, Megatron, Carlos Rogers, like with Joey Harrington, like I was in middle school when Barry Sanders retired, and everybody's like, yo, he's gonna come back. Like, there's no way, because you got to think about it. Barry Sanders had the hype jersey. Like, it was the Barry Sanders, like my homeboy PJ, the Emmett Smiths. You had this Pippins with the ear on the side. Like it was a major part. It was real big. So like seeing him come there, it's big for the city. It's big. It's like if the Pistons could get it together in that new arena, like from Lima all the way up to freaking Grand Rapids, and Grand Rapids is all the way on the west side, but Saginaw is going to be hyped. This is a 75 thing. Like, like I love the Cavaliers, but honestly, Cavaliers is 2 hours east. Like, I have nothing against it. I love the Cavaliers. Freaking cried when the Believe season happened and we won the chip. Like, there was a parade in Ohio for a championship, not like the runner up like the Indians were all those years, or like when the Bengals, like that was crazy. Like the Bengals got there and they lost to the Rams, but then it was a dogfight because, hey, this is what Cam Newton said. Like, Jared Goff is a game manager. Like, and whatever the case was, they didn't lose it. They won by a point. And like, stomach kind of knots, like Baker Mayfield versus Jared Goff. And it's like, if Detroit wins this, they're in the NFC Championship. That's huge. Don't tell me Detroit has a possibility going to the Super Bowl. The whole city. So I get why my guy's there, but every ecosystem is different. And when you come there and you have high expectations and you don't communicate those expectations over and say, hey, man, this is this. You know what? Let me not say that because I don't know what you said and what you did not say. So it's not for me to speak on. But, I'm just giving, food for thought. But, if you coming, you showing up, then, show up, you know what I'm saying? And be part of everything. But if you come and you want to just be like a regular person and you trying to do this, look, let's be honest, right? You not coming to Toledo unless you from Toledo, right? Because Toledo, even though we got the Rockets and the Rockets are cool and we have visitors coming to town, if you're not from Toledo, you're not coming to Toledo. Okay, a lot of us lived in Toledo and we left Toledo. Like, from my understanding, I just read another post where you said, I'm from Miami, but I read several posts where you said you're from Detroit. So which one are you actually from? Because if you're from Detroit and you left to go to Miami, that makes all the sense in the world. Bro, I left Toledo and I moved to Florida too. Like, don't get me wrong, I totally understand it. But if you got high expectations and you don't communicate those expectations, and then you go out there and you leave your disposition, Toledo ain't that type of city. We're going to stand up. Like, we're going to fight in house with each other. But, the man that you just shared that post with, that's my kid's uncle. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know that. I was like real hyped, like, bro, I will come home and I will be your personal guide and I will call my people, which know other people, and we give you what you're looking for because you want some good food. You want some good food. You want to help them put people up on game. Like, hey, man, you want to go ahead and scale your business because I got like 20,000. Well, bro, listen, hey, I'm struggling right here. I probably had like 3-4 people. I've been pretty consistent for like a week. Share this post, bro. Help another black person out because you started somewhere with your platform. And I'm not saying you misused or you did it wrong. Not saying that at all. But at the bottom line is you came, you gave your disposition, and it did something to you because you came back the next day. And I applaud you for that because that was big of you. You didn't have to do that. And you saying, yo, I'll come back in February and do a food competition. That's big of you because you sitting in here being an advocate for black people. Well, okay, the one thing is not all of us are as educated and as cultured as everyone else would, perceive us to be. You're going to have to educate your people. You're going to have to help them out. Some people cool because you know what? You got Chrysler. It's just like you going to Detroit. Detroit, you got J-Nap and you got like several other factories, right? We take care of our own. Chrysler takes care with those 2 shifts of a lot of places and all the other part suppliers. So these businesses are good. They're consistent. If we want dressings and turkey, hey, we can get it from J. Mays. J. Mays is going to hook us up. Sometimes they're going to fall short. They ain't going to put the cranberry sauce on, right? If you want some Toledo wings, then you better bust up and you better be on, where are they at the last time? They were on the Bancroft, right? They was on Bancroft by Secor over there by the old farm. That's where they were at. But back in the day, you would have to go get your Toledo wings over there by the McDonald's off of Cherry, right? So it's not for, it's just not for someone that you just don't walk inside someone's house and have high expectations like, hey, this and that, because we telling you the truth. We're not built like that because we support our own. There's a lot of people who get it at Sam's Club and get the styrofoam boxes and they go sell the place and make their money. They ain't really advertising like that. That's a hand-to-hand transaction. Or, you know, who's going to go on the Cash App, but a lot of them just take the money because that's how they support their family. It's just like if I go home, I lived in Florida, I live in Alabama. Um, Nothing, I can get things done home. Like my girls need their hair braided, boom, 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 calling my god sister. Be right over there. Do, take care of that. Yo, I need my tire changed. Got someone, boom, 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 they're gonna take care of me. Boom. That's home. My people gonna take care of me. Your people gonna take care of you, Detroit. But you go to your friend's house and you disrespect them and you wonder why people are responding. Like you said and said, you are an advocate, you do a lot of good things. Like I was real hyped, like, and I'm still gonna be hyped, and I'm still gonna come, you know, like, oh, you like coming to Montgomery for, you know, the whatever the cause is for the black folding chair. Like I'll be there. I told my wife I was super excited about it, but then I'm like, I looked at it while I'm on this live, and I'm like, yo, that's Deontay, and you sharing him because he has an opinion, and because his opinion doesn't correlate with your thoughts, you're gonna share it. Let me just make sure. I want to look at it again. Like you share that photo because someone didn't like your disposition on what you said about the city, and it's okay for you to say something. It's okay for you to say your truth about what you see, but then when someone says something about what you do, um, am I to perceive as an issue? So, like I said. So, no, okay. Deontay posted it. So tired of all you haters. Hungry black man of Toledo is going live at your mama, grandma, nana's house in 5 minutes. I mean, food for thought, man. He's a stand up guy. You got to understand. He's an educator. He takes care of the youth. I know the church he goes to. Like I said, um, I'm the father of two of his nieces, and I didn't even know this because we don't talk like that. And I'm gonna read some of the comments. It's giving Good Burger home of the Good Burger. I died laughing. Come to Charlotte, North Carolina. You'll love the food and the Southern hospitality is something awesome. You really gave great reviews to my hometown, Toledo, Ohio. Stay great. I appreciate that. We tried in Charlotte to have a decent following in the city. We found a better reception with the Tri-Cities. Okay. Woo Chow, what is that? Much appreciated. Next time you're in town, let's critique together. Facts. I'm even liking that because that's the thing. That's what I put in my post a day ago. Like, take a person, advocate, lift us up. Don't just come here and get a bad experience because listen, you went to Ruby D's, like for real. That's like going to what Ansel Hawley, if that's still there, it might be hit and miss. So if you're gonna go to a city, you should bring someone from the city. Say, hey, who's a respectable person from the city that I can have come there and and eat with, have a conversation with a local. That way you're not misinformed and misguided. And I don't know where that happened or where that came from. But I know it's like 10:42 my time, and I'm guaranteeing our daughter's still playing Fortnite while I'm over here looking. I can't wait to share that word. It's gonna get a good chuckle. I'm gonna have to call her aunt about that one. But man, it's a small world, and babe, when you get home, we're gonna have to do something about this room if I'm gonna keep doing lives in it. But look, man, peace and love. Thank you guys for being part of the experience, and hey, I look forward to conversating with you guys again soon. Straight up. I